How's work going?
Work is great. We're reaching out to new organizations, new churches, new partnerships, new government institutions, some different orphanages in the area, just about expanding our network, recruiting new volunteers, recruiting new youth, and largely, just kind of getting the word out about Lighthouse, because it's been 5 years now. It is our birthday.
That's why you had that thing. The Lighthouse is turning 5 years old, which is very exciting. We've come a long way in 5 years. Our birthday is the 21st of February, and that's really exciting. Mm-hmm. We did have one new partnership already solidified this month with the Baltic Pastoral Institute. Do you want to talk more about that?
So some of you know who they are, BPI. They train a lot of pastors every year. There's something like 35-ish%, almost 40% of the pastors in Latvia have been trained by BPI. So that's pretty cool. And they are literally right next door to us, on the same floor, in the same kind of office suite, hallway thing. And it was very purposeful that we chose this location because of that. But we haven't figured out a way to kind of incorporate them into what we do, for them to incorporate us into what they do, blah, blah, blah. So just last week, we actually had a training for their 3 current new pastors that are being trained so that they can come on board with us as volunteers. And it's kind of a pilot program because normally we would like to start this in the fall. It is not the fall. So we're just kind of seeing how it'll work. But we think it's a pretty important role that pastors have here in this country and all over the world, of course, to care for those that are hurting, to care for those that come from hard places, to care for those that, maybe have been left out, forgotten about, whatever. So we're hoping that this can really turn into kind of a cool thing and at least, get pastors in Latvia familiar to this idea, accustomed to the idea of, okay, people in your congregations are going to have some trauma, are going to be coming from places that are maybe unfamiliar from you, have a different perspective, and you need to know how to care for them. So if nothing else, it'll help them, but it'll also help us because, we need volunteers. We need people to connect with our youth. And most of the pastors are pretty young. I think the oldest trainee, new pastor, whatever they call their student, is 23. So that is right in the middle of the age group that we work with. And so it'll be really nice, I think, for our youth to engage with peers. Because most of the volunteers we have, all the staff, is older than our youth. So having peers be there with them, I think will be really helpful as well. So we're pretty excited about it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you put those guys through a version of our training.
Yeah, it was just 2 days and cumulative 7 hours maybe. So very
condensed.
A glimpse into what we do, focusing a bit more on the pastoral side, kind of the care side. But they got to see what we do. They've been to a few events already. So it'll be pretty cool.
How are our connecting events going?
There's still some attendance issues, but, work and school are priorities for all of our youth, as they should be, and so that's good. But still engaged, of course. We've got some, kind of loose agreements with some youth. Okay, I'll come to this event this week, and then the week after, just a one-on-one meeting with the staff or volunteer, and then I'll be back at this event, and then kind of that format. Other youth, work and or school are pretty stressful, and so when things maybe go a bit south, it's hard for them to come, which is understandable, but that doesn't mean we stop reaching out. That doesn't mean we don't encourage them. Doesn't mean we don't try to find opportunities to meet with them outside of the events. But just like last year, just like in the fall, we do have kind of a 4 or 5 group of youth that are the kind of the nucleus of those that attend, and then we have the others that kind of sporadically come, and then those that it's hard for them to connect. It's hard for them to build that relationship. Maybe it's not something they're ready for still, but we still keep reaching out. We still keep engaging where we can. And then they show up once every 3-6 months or something. So, but for that group that is very much engaged, very much, committed to coming, it's going very, very well.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of any highlights from the past month?
Yeah, we've had some volunteers that were trained, last year, but life got in the way, and so they weren't able to really come to anything. But in the last month, they've been coming. So that's really nice, really cool. And another volunteer who we use kind of primarily as a mentor for one youth. She isn't able to come to a lot of events, but she's been very much more engaged with this youth one-on-one and very intentional and committed to meeting with her, talking with her, encouraging her, even though she's not always able to come to events. And, that's fine. We try to be fluid with our volunteers. And so it's really, really good to see that those two volunteers have been kind of recommitted to our youth.
We can't do this work without our local volunteers because we're just 5 people and we have administrative duties in addition to mentoring youth. So whenever a volunteer can step up, it's amazing.
It is very, very nice. So what highlights have you seen from our events this month?
Well, we've had one game night so far, and it always really makes me laugh how much our youth love Uno. That's, I think, our favorite game to play together. It's simple, you don't need a lot of language, and so it just is always a really good time. Another fun thing we did this month was that there was another call for donations to Ukraine. So anytime there's someone going across the border that we're kind of connected with through either ourselves, the Lighthouse, usually it's BPI or BBI, Bridge Builders International, or the church that's in our building, My Vieta. Whenever anybody hears about someone going to Ukraine, there's always a big call for donations. And that happened this past month. And there was a need for specifically feminine hygiene products. So we took one of our hangout nights to go shopping and go collect some of those things and donate them to the cause, to the stock, I guess, of things going across the border. So I think it's always really great to give our youth an opportunity to give care to others and to think about what do women in that hard circumstance need right now? This is what I like. Maybe they like this. I think it's just a good thing to do. And finally, we are announcing in this video exclusive that we are coming to the US this year. We haven't forgotten about you, even though Aaron was just there in November. Mm-hmm. We are planning a trip for 2023, and we think it's going to be in early June, right?
Early June to mid-June. We haven't bought tickets yet because busyness, but the first week of June or so, June 4th to 8th is kind of the dates I've looked at to leave. From here in Latvia to come visit all you wonderful people in Arkansas and Oregon, and then probably heading back to Latvia the 25th-ish, 21st, 28th, something like that. So about 3 weeks, kind of similar to what it was when we came January of 2022. Be on the lookout if you've got time in that rough window that you'd like to meet with us. Please let us know because we would love to meet with you. We'll send out dates pretty soon, hopefully get tickets pretty soon so you can have a more concrete idea, but that's what we know for now, and we'd like to just kind of put that out on your radar, your collective hive mind radar, because we miss you guys. We love you, we miss you, we want to see you.
So we'll see you in a couple months in person, and we'll see you next month here and in our newsletter in a couple weeks.
All the digital ways, the Instagram, the Facebook. We're not on the Snapchat, but
Not on the TikTok either.
Not on the TikTok.
You know where to find us. So find us, say hey. Hey.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.